Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Good.
Hello, hello.
Ooh, it's morning for us in Pacific time, but it could be squarely midday for all of you. So I will just say greetings while everyone's getting connected to audio and getting settled. I'll just start with some brief introductions. So I'm Andrea, and I'm co-presenting today with my colleagues Rachel. Hi, Rachel. And Shannon is our Zoom maestro, and Kelly is here doing our technical backup. So that's the team with you today. And there's a lot of us because this is a pilot. And at PMD Alliance, we like to learn while doing. Because if we're just learning, locked away in a closed room somewhere, then how beneficial is that? Is it actually, if we're just testing things amongst staff, then is that actually an accurate test group? So I mentioned that just to thank you for joining this pilot and for, please be open with feedback. This is, a time for brainstorming and ideas, and we hope that together we can figure out how to create a wonderful poetry writing workshop toolkit with the goal of being able to share it with our support group leaders across the country so that those of you who run support groups or co-run support groups, have options. And if you hear from your group members, why do we always have to talk about Parkinson's? Or why do we always have to talk about symptoms or medications? Or, if you start to hear that kind of feedback, you have something in your back pocket. Hey, okay, if that clinical medical stuff is too dry, watch out. Let's do a poetry writing workshop. And you're not having to create something from scratch and just have a pre-packaged kit to start with. And I think every time we do this, it'll probably be different. So there is no wrong way to do creative writing, and there's a lot of freedom in that. But we wanted to put something together for you to start with. So that is so that's kind of the goal of this today's session, and us working on this pilot. Now some of you attended, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had a first meeting, and we are going to be breaking up into two groups. So the folks who attended, was it 2 weeks ago? Time is like,
It was too.
yeah, those who attended session one will be in one group with Rachel and Kelly, and talking about, your experiences once you got the material, what it was like. And then hopefully, I think you'll have time for this to talk about some, how to deliver this to your group, what you would do then to not just have, a beautiful poem that you put on the fridge, but what are the steps? How would you roll this out? How would you show up at your support group meeting and set things up? So that's going to be group one. And then group two is going to be people who this is your first time and you didn't attend session number one, and we're just going to start from scratch. We learned a lot from doing it, so you have the benefit of some of the refinements and tweaks from session one. And that's going to be breakout room two, and that'll be with me. So let's see. I thought a great way to start would be with an example of an I am poem. And I think we have a couple folks who submitted poems and who gave us their permission to share. And I'm going to start with you, Roger, because I know that You, yes, were excited about the project and just I'm very impressed with what you did. Okay. Plus, Roger, like, I'm going to invite him to everything I do because he's just a fountain of positivity and is always like, yes, let's do it. So, yes, when I get that TED talk, can you come in the first row, Roger? It might be like 30 years from now, but.
I'm only a mirror. I'm reflecting what I see.
See, isn't maybe if anyone needs Roger available, then we'll share your info. But he actually submitted his handwritten poem, so I will share my screen so you'll have something to look at while you listen to me read this. And can everyone see that? Okay, it's a little small, right? But okay. Okay. I am from the cornfields of Indiana, ready to discover every other beating heart. I am a friend to all, red, yellow, black, or white, from the north, south, east, or west. I am a brother to all, some I've met and some not yet. I am an NGUer, a never give upper. I am a defender of those with no defense. I am a voice for those without one. I am not saying goodbye, but will say, see you later.
I like this one a lot better.
And I like yours a lot better. But thank you for letting me share that, Roger. And that is what Roger was showing on the screen. If technology worked right, we sent everyone a PDF packet by email of the IAM kit draft. Does everyone have that? Does it sound familiar? If you Okay, I see some waving and whatnot. If you don't, that's okay. Um, it looks like, but it will. That was some feedback that we had from the first one, that having some actual, written materials is helpful. So that's what it looks like. And if you have it, hopefully you've had a chance to peek through it and it'll give you a sense of what we're going to be talking about today. If you don't have one, no worries. So yes, download but not print. Who even has a printer half the time? That's okay too. I think it was mostly, and thank you to the feedback from the group one people. They kind of wanted to know, okay, where is this? Like, I need a roadmap of what are we doing? So thank you, Roger, for letting me share that poem. And we had another example, and my friend Lauren in Orange County may I share your poem as well? Okay. And I also have it, I may share the screen and I will show it to you in words and read it as well. Let's see. Okay. And I am from changing seasons, from the crunch of dry leaves under scuffling feet, to biting cold sleet on my cheeks on the way to school, from family gatherings along the coast to the sting of mosquitoes on a heavy summer night. I am the capturer of memories, the click click of my shutter and shy smiles peeking around corners, the paparazzi of celebrations and community happenings. I am the lone speck of dust, swirling in a cyclone at the doctor's office, left to pick up the pieces, numb with no compass or roadmap. I am stiff and sore muscles, twisting and pushing. I am from determination and perseverance, from sweat and from tears. I am from the strength in my gut, knowing God's got my back. I am from hope, from pink sunrises and orange sunsets, and fragrant petals that will bloom another year.
Very nice.
I might have got a little misty reading that. Very, very powerful. Thank you for letting me share, Lauren.
I did too.
Yes. So that was kind of that was skipping forward to the end. Kind of the goal of this is this exercise kind of breaks down the steps to do this creative writing exercise and to hopefully come up with that end result, a poem, an I am poem about yourself, about your experience, about your life. And I think at this point, Shannon, if you're ready, we will.
Not quite yet. I'm
Not
just
quite
starting
yet?
the process. Yes.
Just started the process.
Just
Okay.
now.
So those of you who, okay, thank you, Kelly. Yes, those of you who didn't come to session 1 and are somewhat, questioning. So when we do the breakout rooms, we will start from scratch with you, and then those of you who participated, you'll be in a like group of people and all starting from the same place. So now Shannon is doing the fun game of matching up the people who came last time and who didn't come last time. And yes, Roger, I see you raising your hand.
Thank you for this forum. It helps a lot.
Great, I'm glad.
I would encourage everyone to print it off after the class today. It is an excellent assist tool.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate that. And I think were there any questions, any people's whose screen names don't quite match their registration name, Shannon, where we need to try to.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I might just, to hopefully prevent putting somebody in the wrong room. Even if that does happen, we can fix it. But I thought I might just since we don't have that many people, run through the names of each room. So in room number 1, who is going to be the people who are returning, who attended 2 weeks ago, will be Dave Ralowski, Diane Rentz, Judy Reynolds, Lauren, Roger, and Sheila, and that will be with Kelly and Rachel, staff-wise. And then everyone else, I believe, is a newbie this time. So if I got it wrong, go ahead and unmute yourself, let me know, and I can do a little switcheroo. But I don't see anybody waving their hands wildly at me, so maybe I got it right. Okay, wonderful.
Oh, and Beth, I see your lips moving, but we don't hear you speaking. You're unmuted, but were you trying to say something?
I want to let her know it has my first name, but not my last name up there if you need it. Beth Lee, L-E-E.
Okay, thank you, Beth. And just to make sure, this is your first time, right?
It is. Can you,
Okay. Say that one more time.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Beth. Okay, so I think we're all set. We might have one more person who I can just add in after the fact.
Okay, so we are now going to Zoom into our respective breakout rooms. And there's a bit of a pause while you are beamed through time and space, so don't leave. And then I think we have about, we'll do like 35 minutes in the breakout room, and then we'll all reconvene. And if that sounds good, then take us away, Shannon.
All righty, everyone, have a good time, and we'll see you on the other side. I'll give you a halfway notice and then a 5-minute notice before we all come back to the main room for sharing and closing out. All right, see you soon, everybody. Well, hello, welcome back.
Thank you. It is always so jarring that it's always like the zoom back is right in the middle of a sentence. Even when I know it's coming, I could 30 seconds, like, don't say anything, Andrea. And then it got me. So I forgot, I was in the middle of a sentence, but I forget what I was saying. So sorry.
Andrea, can you repeat the last sentence I grouped right before we switched about parkies?
Something about the Zoom, just like boop, when we go from breakout room to main room, it just, yes, disrupts my train of thoughts and poof. If I was solving the world's problems, then, you know, it's gone. But hello. So how were the different breakout rooms? I can kind of give a synopsis of, so in our room, we went through the packet and used the, you know, that metaphor of some people just see a recipe or taste a dish and that's enough to get them going. And some people want more steps broken down. And we have some HelloFresh Blue Apron Sunbasket fans in our group who are like, hey, all of that's good, but just mail me all of the ingredients and I'll put it together, but I want it all. And I think in our support groups, there's going to be people of a little bit across that spectrum. And we wanted this toolkit to be, yes, applicable to both those, you know, people with MFAs who are published and also folks who think that they are not creative and that they don't write and that this is not for them. So that was kind of the goal behind the toolkit, and we walked through all the different pages and components. So what did you guys talk about in the other breakout room?
Well, we all shared what we had, and I'm just sending a message. And what we discovered was we are more creative than we think we are. And I don't want to put Diane on the spot, but Diane is a perfect example of somebody who did not believe that she really had a creative part to her brain to put these words together, but she made a beautiful poem, and it's short and sweet. Diane, would you like to share?
Okay, I will. Let me, oh my goodness, I have to find it.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. I had way too many windows open.
But I think it would give the new crew a great example of somebody who feels at first that they don't think they can do it, and then all of a sudden you put some words on a piece of paper and it comes together.
Okay. I am of the military, bonding with others who share the cloth of our nation. Leadership lessons ingrained in my brain, always teaching, always yearning for knowledge. A life of service, military life left behind, service instilled within my soul. Service and teaching fuel my passion for Pilates, to strengthen those that share Parkinson's with me. And now, as we weave the fabric of our friendships, driven by this disease, I am honored to serve beside those who choose to wear this cloth and fight to move.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Really beautiful.
And in our group, we were hoping that you guys figured out all of the nitty gritty details on rolling it out to your support group members. Did you guys cover that?
Yeah, so an idea that I had was to maybe have your group start by filling in all of the ideas, so maybe not get too far into the final project or final product, but start by filling in all of those sheets where you write your childhood memories and your favorite smells and foods and your family history. And then in another session to kind of put it all together in that Mad Libs form. And another thought was that some of these support groups are really, really big. And there's going to be a lot of people who may not be interested, but there will be a core group of people who would be interested in maybe having an offshoot group, creative writing group, where they can put their ideas on paper together. Another idea that Sheila had was that we may not want to do it in such large groups. It may be something that you pair off with somebody and do breakouts of 2 people. And that way you have a little more maybe comfort in sharing it one-on-one. And then, kind of putting it all together in a big group. And then Lauren had a really great idea that we crowdsource everybody just doing 1 or 2 lines and then putting it all together like that NPR poem. And her thought was to crowdsource everybody to share their moment of diagnosis and their thoughts and what they remember about first being diagnosed, and how if everybody could share that in one big crowdsourced poem, it could be very, very powerful, and something that could be shared and really, I think, have a big impact. So thank you, Lauren and Sheila, for those great ideas, and Diane for reading your poem.
Yes. Oh, you guys covered lots of great things in your group. Anyone from the newbie group have questions to ask of folks who, have been through this already? Or I know, Candace, I'm looking at you since you've been running groups, for more than a decade. How does this feel, from your perspective?
I mean, overall, I like the idea. I think somebody brought up with our early on Parkinson's groups, it would always be very focused on different speakers like medications or what is Parkinson's. And I found lately what really people enjoy the most are things to kind of almost get away from it, but to be around people. So we have done like different painting things, or and I feel like something like this would be very helpful. And I like the idea of maybe giving all the information to people, but it could also be overwhelming if you're not creative, or so I like how you divided it up to really start thinking about these different memories and then how they can be put together. And I like the idea of doing 1 or 2 lines. So I think just kind of going into a group is using this, but trying to figure out how to maybe use it during the support group and how you can bring it all together. So maybe people have this information on things they can do more at home and dive more into it. But yeah, so that's kind of the things I was thinking about.
Yeah. And I'm thinking of, if you have a group that's very used to like expert speakers and not really opening up, then you could, share the materials and send it home for people to do, or that break up into the pairs or the small groups, and maybe package it with some, because there's tons of research on neurological benefits to writing and creativity. So I don't know, I always think of like my most conservative, like retired accountant, like very set in their ways, and how to even someone like that get them to try something new. So that comes to mind. Well, yeah, well, thank you everyone for joining, and hopefully this sparks some ideas, whether you're at the stage of ready to maybe take it to your group and give it a try, or those new folks, like just to start writing their poems. Our group did ask for a chance to reconvene and share what they wrote. So this is like a new cohort, like our creative writers, or we'll have to come up with a better creative name than that, because that's not very inspired. But yes, Denise.
We might just want to show a hands of how many people in this group would like to reconvene. As Rachel had said, that I mean, I don't know, not everybody maybe wants to get as involved in a creative writing, but if we had a couple of follow-ups, I mean, do you want to ask for a show of hands? Do we all want to, or is it just a few? Or
Yeah, so show of hands.
do.
Okay.
What?
Well, we'll invite you all, and you can come or not come.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you, everyone. My fellow PMD Alliancers, any closing words or missing anything to put a bow on this session?
I just have one little question / comment, and it would be, well, thank you all for coming and for being game for something like this, something a little outside the box, which is what we're always looking to do. But I'm curious if we feel like this toolkit, this program or activity could be done both in an in-person and over a Zoom support group meeting session. Do we feel like it's applicable in both formats? Yes. Okay, because we're doing it now, obviously through Zoom. It would be more fun to be with each other in real time and space, but so you would be open to that, to a Zoom scenario. Okay, that's good. Just good to know. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it was wonderful spending time with all of you. And yes, like Sheila said, we would love to hear your poems and see what you wrote. And so yes, send it in, reply to the email, or you have our email address. We'd love to see it. Everyone, I thought that you'd think I would stop getting misty-eyed, but Diane, that was amazing, and Lauren and Roger, they're just so beautiful, and it's such an opportunity to get to know people and appreciate that chance.
Andrea,
Yes.
I heard you say at one point, maybe just to start out with the skeleton of the thing and then come back. And then now I'm feeling like you want us to go ahead and keep going and send you a more developed poem if we want to.
Yeah, I think whether it's that skeleton or fleshed out,
Either one.
yeah, it doesn't have to be final.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Always a pleasure. Bye now.
Good to
Bye,
be with
everybody.
everybody.
Great to see you, Pauline.
Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rachel. Bye, Andrea. Bye, Shannon.